So I spent a majority of my time working on this project, which was polishing and waxing the hulls. I used a Meguiar's 2-in-1 product that worked pretty good. It did the light polishing and the waxing that we needed. We have had this done every year, so it wasn't too bad on the oxidation. But this clip is obviously sped up, and it took me about 10 minutes to do what this clip shows. So you can see that it was quite the time consuming process. But yeah, we're glad we did it. You definitely get a feel for the condition of your hulls and become more intimate with your boat.
Well, I am beginning the project of making the chaps for the dinghy. And you can see that the dinghy has been lowered from the boat, and I'm in the process of measuring and cutting my pattern. And so John is making the legs for my cutting table so I can start cutting my fabric for the dinghy chaps. Well, I have unboxed the fabric for the dinghy chaps, and it's Cellrite Marine Grade Smoke is the color. And I will be placing the pattern on this and cutting the material today for the chaps.
Betsy has her pattern all laid out on the fabric for the dinghy chaps. She used her chalk pencil, and they came off the pattern that she made. And now she's using the Cellrite hot knife to cut the material, and it actually makes a very nice cut. Plus, it seals the material so there's no fraying or unraveling later on. The hot knife works pretty good, Betsy.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Highly recommend it.
And you see we're working on this awesome table, which is actually the material for my shelving that I'm working on. So we made a table out of sawhorses. We carry some sawhorse brackets with us, and that's wherever we go. And that way all we need is to buy some 2x4s, and we can easily make whatever size sawhorses we need to do boat projects. A lot easier than carrying some sort of collapsible sawhorse with us. So life on the hard is not super easy. You can see we've got stuff everywhere. Boat's kind of tore apart, tools out, stuff taken out of compartments. We're using a small heater connected to the yard power to keep the boat tolerable at night. Last night it got down to 35 degrees outside, so we had the heater down in our hull, which kept the compartment at about 55 degrees last night. Got down to 49 in the salon, so it was a little chilly this morning. It's a little chilly this morning, but the sun is out and things are warming up. So we have waxed the hulls, but we have not cleaned the deck yet because it's just going to get dirtier. So we're going to clean the deck right before we go in the water. So this is basically 2 months of accumulation on here. And I'm working on my big project this morning, which is the storage in the forward holds. We've got 2 of them up here. So I'm working on our storage in the forward hull, so we're going to put a shelf in. This is actually a berth that we can use. So you can see it's been finished. It's got a ladder. It's got a fan. It's open into the forward guest compartment. And we even have power and a light up here. So this would be like an emergency berth. We put one of the mattresses up here. And we could, throw a couple kids up here or something. This compartment's mainly storage 99% of the time. We keep our parasailer up here and some other lines and things. So we're making a shelf so that we can store bulky light things. That's what we like to keep up forward. So you can see that I've epoxied some wooden pieces to the hull. That way I can screw the shelf to it. And I've chosen to work with wood because I know it. It's easy to get a hold of and it's easy to work. I sealed all these with spar varnish before I mounted them, so they're completely sealed, and the wood shelf will obviously get spar varnish also. Thought about making it with starboard, but it was expensive, it was heavy, and it doesn't glue well. So I decided on wood. This is our view in the Marine Center here in St. Augustine. They have a large building for painting boats inside. And of course we've got lots of boats here still. Towards the end of January, people are working on their boats, trying to get them in the water for the season, including us. Some of these boats have been here a while because of pandemic related issues. And you can see one of the highway bridges back there. It's a pretty nice yard. It's been a good place to get Agape ready for the cruising season. So I got the shelf done in the forward compartment. Basically epoxied in some tabs and then put some spar urethane on the wood, seal it, and we've got a spot for some storage. And then down below we're going to put the parasailer so that we have access to it when we're sailing. We're slowly getting things together on the boat. We're about 4 days away from launch. And, we've got quite a bit of stuff, as you can see behind me, still yet to do. But we're coming together. The dinghy project, chaps on the dinghy, turns out to be a pretty involved job, and Betsy's been working hard on that and learning a lot. And we've got about 4 days till launch, so we still have to get all the cushions and canvas cleaned, get our Genoa back up the furler, and then we've got some storage things and provisioning, and we should be ready to launch in 4 days. Ready or not, it's gonna happen. So Betsy is hard at work on her dinghy chaps. You can see she's got them roughed out here. We haven't sewed anything together yet, but it's looking good. We've got Velcro on the boat. So that's what's going to hold the fabric on. So it's looking pretty good on the boat side. And we've got her working at this table back here. I thought I was going to use this wood to make another shelf, but we decided we're going to hold off on that other shelf.
It's my work table.
And it's Betsy's work table. So she has her hot gun.
My hot knife.
Betsy has her hot knife that she's using to cut the fabric. That way the fabric edge is sealed.
That's correct. It doesn't fray.
It doesn't fray, so she's decided this is a really good tool.
My hand's not tired.
And her hand's not tired. So I figure on the dinghy chaps, we've got, it would have cost like $1,500 probably to get chaps made, so we bought $2,000 worth of Sailrite stuff.
No.
And spending 3 weeks of our life on it. Probably not.
Probably not.
One of my additional projects was revarnishing the dolphin seats, so that's complete. They just need to be remounted. It looks like this is probably their last season. We didn't get to them soon enough with the varnish this year, and a little bit of bad shape. So the other big project that I took on was polishing and waxing the hulls. So that is complete, and they look pretty good. We've had them polished and waxed every year, so we'll be able to keep up with them. Of course, we got the bottom paint done while we were visiting family, and we've got had some gel coat repaired up there next to where the anchor's at. Some of the charters had swung the anchor into the gel coat and damaged it, so we got that all repaired. They did a nice job on that, and got this all cleaned. I have to admit, I have not waxed the underside of the bridge deck, and I don't think I'm going to get to that this year. We're going to have to do that next year. You can see we still have a bit of a mess, so we've still got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. Tomorrow is our last day before we go in the water, but some of this stuff can be done on the mooring. But I do have the top up on the helm cover, and we've got the cushions for the helm and the sun deck all scrubbed and in place. So we're making progress. Tomorrow we'll get the rest of the helm canvas clean and up, and we'll get the cockpit cushions washed before we splash on Tuesday. So the boat's in a little bit better shape. We still have some things to put away, but we're getting there. But right now, we still have our jugs out on the front deck there. Right now we still have some goodies out here. Right now we need to work on getting ourselves launched. So today is Splash in the Water Day. Is it Splash in the Water Day?
It is, and it's cold.
Is it cold? So the dinghy is hoisted. We still have our rental car back there, but the dinghy's all set. Betsy's up front getting the cushions that we washed off the trampoline, so we have room to move around. We're going to take the boat over to the mooring this morning. See, we still have some stuff up front. We don't have our bridle attached because that kind of got in the way of the trailer when we were coming out of the water. So we'll put that on when we get to the mooring. We've got some canvas that we washed. These still need to be stowed, but we're getting there. Betsy's getting into sailing mode here. Trying to anyways. So it's a beautiful clear morning. Not much wind, so looks like a great day to launch the boat. So they're putting the boat on the trailer. They're getting the blocks from out and under the mini keels and putting a little bit of quick dry bottom paint. Gotta get it to go. Look like we're stuck in the mud here. So the one side is kind of stuck in the mud. I don't know if we're gonna, I guess we're gonna try to put some wood underneath to get the wheels up on something firm. Now we got her moving. Got her moving. Agape's going back in the water. This is where we'll be launching the boat on this ramp. Looks a little narrow, but it works. So we're timing it for high tide here, and there's not much wind, so it should be fairly drama-free, I think. Hoping, anyways. So I'll launch us out here, and then we'll tie off to that pier there, I believe, and then we'll get going. Agape's coming into the ramp. So we were feeling pretty good about our commissioning. We got the boat back in the water. We've been back in the water for about a week. We thought we were going to leave today, but no. So we have to get oil changed on the two main engines and also the generator. And thought I had all the parts, but it turns out I do not have the full impeller service kit for the generator. All I have is the impeller. I need the O-ring. So we've ordered that. The ice machine is having trouble starting up. That's a real disaster. Can't go to the Bahamas without ice. And then the generator started blowing smoke today. So I think it's just we pushed it. We had it about 80% capacity, and you can see behind me we also got laundry out, but yeah, we got about 80% capacity, and I think it just wasn't used to having that much. So you can see it's kind of a gray day here in St. Augustine. So I'm gonna top the batteries off and get the some water made, and then see about changing the oil and fuel filter on the generator today, see if I can get that done. And hopefully the impeller parts will be in so I can change the impeller. Oh, our outboard recoil starter managed to disassemble itself, and so I have to order a new one of those too. I can manually start the dinghy engine, but you got to pull the cover every time. So That's our boat commissioning fund so far. Hopefully we can get going in another week or so.